But on the, and then I'm going to go back to Facebook so I can, you cannot minimize Zoom when you're recording. Oh, okay. So I can't minimize Zoom. That means I can't see, well, maybe on my phone I could see the, okay. Yep. Okay, so we are on. So let me start out by welcoming you to the June Fireside Chat for the Facebook group, Women Redefining Aging. Before we get started, I'd just like to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about me and why we do this. First of all, my name is Siriaka Yolanda, and my company is called Wise and Fit too. And some people ask, why did you pick that name? Well, for a number of reasons. My last name is Sabio, and that means wise in Spanish, which is my first language. And I serve seasoned sisters.
Okay.
Seasoned sisters who are wise through life experience, and they are fit too, or want to be fit too. Hence, wise and fit too. So that's the name of my health coaching business. I serve sassy, sexy, seasoned sisters. That's the moniker that I adopted. And, you know, sometimes when the people hear sexy, they think Playboy sexy.
Right.
That's not my intent. That's not what I think of. I truly believe that we are all sexy in terms of the essence of who we are. And a lot of times as we grow older, as we become more seasoned, we tend to temper that the sexiness of us, you know, the thing that makes us different, you know,
right.
that sassiness that we had when we were younger. We tend to, like, you know, give in to what society says. Oh, you're too old for that. You're too old to wear that. You're too old to think like that. Well, no. I'm about throwing out all of those isms about what an older seasoned sister should look, feel, dress like, think like. Hence, sassy, sexy, seasoned sisters. So today we are talking about the decades. I put out a call for women to represent the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th decade. I didn't get a lot of response, but we are here and we're going to rep our decades. I will represent the 70s since that's my decade that I'm in. And we have Patricia who will represent the 60s, the 6th decade, I should say. She calls it something else. I'm gonna let her introduce herself about that. And we also have Sherry here with us. Sherry is right now may not be able to speak, but if she does, she will be representing the 6th decade as well. I was expecting another member of our group who would represent the 8th decade, and I would love to have her because, you know, she's an amazing person, but maybe she will join us before we are through. I expect us to not be here longer than an hour because I do have a hard stop. I have a 5 o'clock, another Zoom call to be on. Okay.
All right.
So let's get started. So Patricia, I'm going to start with you, and I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself. Tell us what decade you are representing. Anything else you might want to include, like where you live, etc. And what are 3 words that you would describe this decade that you're living in for you? Patricia?
Okay, my name is Patricia. Last name, I don't know if we really need to divulge that, but
it's up to you.
I've been married for almost 31 years in August.
Amen.
Yes, and I have 5 grandchildren, 3 children, and it's just me and my husband now at home, and we're just living a whole nother different type of life with our children grown and gone. And recently, past November last year, my daughter decided to take my 5 grandbabies, and they and her husband are living now in Tanzania, Africa.
Oh, okay. I've been there.
Yes,
Tanzania.
so
Yes,
that's a
yes.
different change for me as well. So I don't even have my grandbabies here either. So it's a different world, and I'm learning how to just develop myself more. I mean, because when you have children and grandchildren, you you're a different person. And you use your time differently, and you almost think differently when they are in your immediate life. But now I've always been a person that exercised, and I'm not always a good eat writer, if you want to say it like that. But I do watch what I eat, and I watch the quantity of food, more or less, not so much as what I eat, because I do eat things that are not so healthy, but
Uh-huh.
I watch what I eat as of the amount, then that makes a whole lot of difference. If I have a sweet, just let me get a little bit of that. If I have a starch, just let me have a little bit of that. And I try not to overindulge. And since it's just being me and my husband now, when we go out, we share one plate. We don't just, because food, they put a lot of food on your plate, and it's like, we don't need all this food.
Absolutely.
And we just share that one plate. And sometimes we can get one dinner and it lasts us like 2 days.
Mm.
And
Good.
that helps me keep down the amount of food. Because when you have all that food on your plate, you almost gonna eat all that food on your plate.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
and that's what helped me keep myself at a certain weight
Okay.
all my life. I've always been conscious of my size, and when my thighs started rubbing together, I was like, okay, gotta go back.
Okay. Okay. So
That's
it
what.
sounds like, Patricia, first of all, now you have an opportunity to travel someplace, Tanzania, to see your family, right?
Exactly.
So that's
Yeah.
great. And it sounds like you are very intentional about certain things in your life right now. Have you always been that way?
Yes, I have.
Good.
Always.
Good.
Hmm.
Good. And that's good, because a lot of people who have not, that becomes a real challenge for them at
Hmm.
this time of their life, because we do not need, as you said, as much food as we used to eat,
Right.
and many of us grew up, with eat all the food on your plate, and that's still in our minds. And we
Yes.
have taken that into, our seasoned, uh, uh, our seasoned stage of life, but that doesn't serve us well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great, great. Well, you've answered my question, but let me just be a little bit more specific. Three
Okay.
words. Give me 3 words that describe this stage that you're in. 3 words that really speak to you.
Um, I want to be more focused.
Okay.
Um, I want to be more of a light
Hmm.
shining in the world as far as how I live my life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I won't be a stumbling block for anybody that, you know, is trying to live a certain type of
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle. I I want to be more of an example
Wow. That's
in
wonderful.
that way. Um, and So I guess what that word would be I don't know if I can say that with one word.
Well, you said focused, you said an example.
Okay, an example, that's one word. And I want to retire because I am tired,
Mhm.
but I still find myself want to go back to work.
Okay.
So I am kind of in limbo about retiring and not retiring.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm kind of in a little transitional stage about that because I'm not really sure if that's actually what I want to do because I am so used to working and doing things, and I don't know if I can find something to replace it at this time, even though I have so many ideas and dreams and stuff in my head, but I don't know if that would be something that would replace me monetarily.
I got it. Got it.
That's
Okay.
why.
Okay. Now I follow you on Facebook,
Mhm.
and you also, when we talked in Messenger, you call this decade a specific, you describe it as specific way. Can you tell us what that is?
Well, I've been trying to get my girlfriends to live by this. So I'm going to say this. I am in my 60s.
Okay. Sexties,
I'm
everybody.
not in my 60s.
Okay.
I am in my 60s. And I want everybody that's in their 60s to live that, breathe that, and let your 60s, as you call it, become your 60s.
Okay.
So that's the way I want to live and breathe my decade right now. And when I get into my 70s, I'm going to have a new word.
All right now.
I don't know what it's going to be, but I will create another word for my 70s and then my 80s because if God allows me to live to my 80s and 90s, I'm going to always be that girl and want to feel like I'm not that age. I don't want to look my age and I don't want to act my age.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And I love that. And
Yeah.
it so relates to what I said at the beginning, what I define as sexy.
Mhm.
It's not Playboy sexy. It's really just letting our light shine. And it
Mhm.
shines in many different ways in different women. So,
Exactly.
yeah, so I love that. I love that. Okay. So, my 3 words, because I'm in the 70s, so I represent the 70s, is surprises.
Mm.
Because since I turned 70, I've had some surprises.
Okay. And do you care to share what those surprises are? No, I'm just
And I
playing.
think I probably have shared it in a group anyway. And you know what is interesting is that they've had to do with health. And to me, it's like I consider myself a healthy person. I'm very health conscious. I'm a health coach, etc. But things can still happen to me.
Exactly.
So I went away for my birthday. I went to Hawaii. On my way back, I had a sciatica flare up that, the sciatica is that nerve that goes from your back all the way down your leg that almost crippled me because I could not even walk.
Wow.
Okay. And it was a total shock to me because, like, movement is a part of who I am.
Who everybody is.
Okay. Yeah. But, like I exercise and all that. And it was like, I couldn't, it hurt to move. So, okay, that was the one surprise.
Okay.
Another surprise happened last week. I got COVID.
Oh, wow.
You
You
know,
did mention that. Yeah.
and today is day 10. I was telling Sherry today is day 10. And I was feeling some more symptoms than I thought I would feel. Okay. But I said, hey, you are older, all of that kind of stuff. So, I'm still not 100%, but I'm a lot better than I was last week. So I am thankful for that. And I'm expecting that I will continue to get better,
Amen.
So those are the surprises. Like, I wasn't expecting like health surprises, really. I thought I'm above that. I'm over that. But hey, we're not. We're human, and stuff happens.
Anything, yes.
I think the other word would be acceptance. I am accepting in that there's things that I no longer want to do, no longer don't bring me joy. And then the third word would be excitement for what is yet to come that I have not done. Like I've always loved to travel. And I said, like, I've been to Tanzania. I was in Tanzania in my 20s.
Wow.
And I had jobs in which I traveled a lot. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to get back to that, but more on a, do it when I want to basis, because I don't have to report to somebody else or have to
Exactly.
ask for time off. So those are the three words, for me. And I wrote them down. Surprises, acceptance, and excitement are the three words for me.
Hey, I love those three words. I love those three words.
Okay, let's go on to another question. What would you tell your younger self? Hindsight is 2020. What would you tell your younger self, your 20-year-old, 30-year-old, even 40-year-old self, now that you are at the age that you are?
I would tell my younger self not to be disappointed in yourself if things did not pan out like you thought that they would. Learn how to accept what happens in your life and be happy about it and be thankful that you have gotten to whatever age that you are right now. And if you're in good health, that's even a more blessing. And just don't be hard on yourself, because I have a tendency to do that when I think that I have not accomplished what I would like to have, and I'm still not doing things that I really love, and I make excuses and stuff for it. So I would tell my younger self not to be hard on yourself. Just live your life the best way you can, in a good way. And if you do that, things will turn out better for you.
Okay. All right. Me as a 70-year-old, what I would tell my younger self, again, I go back to health, is like, take care and do the things that you should be doing for your health, because your older self will thank you. I think a lot of women, go through life and, I'll do that later,
Right.
Even with the whole thing of eating or movement, oh, I don't feel like it, and also because many times our cultures, we're surrounded with a lot of unhealthy things, unhealthy food, point
Right.
blank. We kind of give into that, where I would say, begin to change, because life is going to change. We all go through the change, and take care of your health.
Right.
Do the things that you need to do, because it's going to be harder as you get older.
Exactly.
So that's what I definitely would tell my younger self and what I tell younger people.
Now, yes.
Because when you look at statistics about people in our country, we are grossly overweight, for one, and we've got a lot of diseases that are lifestyle diseases that we have control over.
Yes.
So it's really opening the eyes, and we are elders. We are the elders now. Just when we were coming up, we had older people who we looked up to. Well, we are the elders now, and
Yeah.
I believe that we have a responsibility, like you said earlier. You want to be an example to others. We definitely have that opportunity at this age that we are blessed to have, to live in.
Amen.
Yeah. Um, Anything surprise you about life right now in your 60s? Anything surprise you?
Um, as far as what?
Well, certainly health, but anything else? Anything else that, has impacted your quality of life?
I guess what is surprising to me, and but still a blessing at the same time, is that I'm not on any medication.
Hmm.
And that really, really is a beautiful thing, because I see so many people take so many pills a day for this and that and the other. And I am just blessed in that way. And I guess it is surprising because it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised and grateful and happy and thankful all at the same time. But I'm hoping that whatever I've been doing to keep me from having to be on any kind of meds of any kind, I just want to keep doing that. And if it's God's will and if that's where He wants me to be, just let me live my life without going to have any medications in my life or anything.
Amen. And you said you have 2 children?
I have 3.
3. Okay. So you are certainly being an example to them,
Yes.
as to what an older woman in her 60s looks like, feels, what she's like, so that's a big impact that you're having that sometimes we don't think about.
Mm-hmm.
I have 1 daughter and I have 2 grandsons, and I am constantly or regularly mindful of the example that I set for them. My grandsons will tell you in a minute, my grandma loves to dance because they know I love to dance. And that's how that's part of my wellness. My movement is dancing. One time I went to pick them up from school and they were in an after school dance class. And I walked in and there were other parents waiting for their children.
Uh-huh.
And one of the parents says to me, "Oh, you're the one who loves to dance." I'm like, "How do you know? I don't know you." They had told, the whole, the teacher and everybody else in there. They also know, grandma doesn't eat this, grandma doesn't eat that, grandma's healthy, that type of thing, so I am thankful that I can set that example for them, and that's something that we all have the opportunity to do. Even if you don't have children or grandchildren, there are other people younger around you. So
Exactly.
it's not just, you got to have, children or whatever.
Right.
Okay. So the next question is sort of the opposite of the previous question. What would you tell your older self? Let's say 10, 20 years from now. What would you tell that woman about, life, about being healthy, about anything?
I would tell that older person just to be thankful and grateful that like if I'm 60 and we're 20 years from now, I would just be thankful and grateful to God
Okay.
that I am still here and hopefully in my right mind and um able to have the activity of my limbs and still be happily married with my husband and hopefully I'll be at that point of living my best life
Okay.
in, traveling. So I
Okay.
would just be more grateful and thankful in my older years.
Okay. Okay. And for me, as a woman in her 70s, I think, 10 years from now, 80, 90, 20 years, 90, I would look back, I would want to look back and say, girl, you did good. You took care of yourself to the best that you could. And you helped others as well. You still got your faculties, mental faculties, and you
Exactly.
can still move. You can still be independent, because that's one of my goals. I want to remain independent,
Absolutely.
not to have to depend like I read somewhere, you want to be able to get on the toilet and get up by yourself.
Now, you said that, and I meant the same as saying the activity of my limbs, because I was in there just putting on clothes, and I was just thinking as I'm putting on clothes, God, I'm glad I can lift up this one leg and put it inside this underwear
That's right.
without
That's right.
without having to lay down or and I just had the thought, just putting on my clothes,
Yeah.
because there's some people that they can't even lift one leg up
That's
and
right.
put it inside a pair of pants or wherever you're putting it. It's like it's a blessing and it's something that you just cannot take for granted. You just can't. So I I I I understand what you're saying. I mean, because not having the activity of your limbs like you are used to
Mm-hmm.
having, I cannot imagine,
Mm-hmm.
what that would be like. And I'm just glad that I'm not there, and I hope that I never will get there. And I'm going to try to continue to exercise and do what I can not to ever get there.
Amen. Amen. I read a lot of health related things. That's what, that's where my mind goes. And in the census said, the last census, that by the year 2030, 20% of Americans will be over the age of 80. There will be more people over the age of 80 than there are 5 and younger. So, women are having people are having fewer and fewer children. And so, there is this thing called the gray tsunami, because we are the baby boomers. There were a lot of us that were born between 1946 and 1964. And, we're living longer, so that we will be a very large portion of society, in at least American society.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, unfortunately, America also has, and I say America, I'm saying it in the general sense, because I think within different cultures, this may not be. But, the older person who can't not take care of themselves, what happens? They get put in a nursing home.
Yeah.
Because they can't take care of themselves.
Right.
But there is so much going on in science that doesn't need to happen, but it's just not widely known or widely available to many people. So being able to take care of yourself and do the activities of daily living is key. It's key for us remaining and retaining, I should say, the sassy sexiness of us.
Exactly.
That really, really, really is key. So that's the impetus for me doing what I do in terms of health coaching. And that's what it's my mission to impact, to help women stay as independent as possible throughout life.
Amen.
And it can be done. It can be done.
I know it can. I don't know if you've seen on my Facebook page. I recently in April I went to one of the mothers of my church. She is 104.
Wow.
And she has the activity around them. She don't want nobody taking care of her. She still lives independently at her place. And she still cooks, and I'm going to cook y'all pound cake,
Wow.
food. That kind of spirit, and that 104. I mean, she talks like, me and you.
Wow.
Sometimes she'll say, I'm getting forgetful. Sometimes I say, Mother, I'm getting forgetful sometimes. So don't you even think about, that, because she's such a blessing. And I posted, her on my Facebook page. If you ever want to go way back in April and see it, she's amazing. 104. She should have been. She should have been on this panel right now. You didn't even go up there to that age.
Yeah.
She definitely could have been here.
She sure could have been. That's amazing. That's amazing. Let me ask you this question. What's missing? When you think of your health, your life, what's missing? It could be information, it could be some other resource, anything. What is still missing in your life? What would you like more of?
The first thing I have to say, more of God.
Okay.
That's the first thing, because when you have more of God, you get all the desires of your heart.
Okay.
And whatever is missing in my life right now is because I need more of God in my life. So that is what's missing. And the other things that I want to do and love to do, and they will come.
Okay.
So that's what's missing.
Okay. And what do you do now for fun?
I don't know if exercise is something for fun, but I enjoy it.
Oh, then it's fun.
It's fun. I mean, when I don't do it, I don't feel good. And like you, I love to dance. And my exercise a lot of times is in the mirror, dancing to my favorite songs. And the music plays, back to back songs. Some of the radio stations, you put the radio station on and you got 6 or 7 songs in a row. And I'm there exercising the whole time. And I do that for an hour.
Good for you.
Nonstop moving, because music I love, and it does make me move.
Okay.
And that's something I love to do for fun. Dance. I love movies. I like going to movies. Doing things with my husband, and traveling is something that I aspire to do with my husband. So traveling is something I want to do, and that's something fun as well.
Okay. Now, for exercise, you do dancing, and that's very good because it brings you joy. It helps, it's cardio, so it's got your heart pumping a little bit hard, harder, and that's good. That's really good for you. Do you also do any strength building? Do you use weights at all in your exercise practices?
Actually, I do.
Okay.
We have a weight machine in the back. Just a whole little setup where you got the arms, the legs,
Mm-hmm.
the pull downs, the whole little
Mm-hmm.
one section machine that I use. And what I actually did this morning, I have a routine that I do on that weight machine. I put like 40 as far as the weights on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go past 40 at this point
Okay.
because it's a little heavy for me, and I want to build muscle.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been doing this for so long now. I was like, Lord, where's the muscle at? I'm not getting the muscle. What am I doing wrong? I've been doing it for so long now. It's like the toning is not coming as fast as I would like for it to. So I still continue, and I'm going, well, maybe I'm not putting enough weights on there because I have been told the more weight, the more, toning you can get. I don't know if that's true.
Well,
I
go
don't
ahead.
want to be, I don't want to be buffed. I don't want to be looking like a muscle person, but
Mm-hmm.
I do want to tone because there are areas in my body, like I do not like my wings that
Okay.
I can fly. I don't like them. And I've never have, and I'm going to tell you this story. My mother had problems with her arms, with the fat under her arms. And we used to talk to our mom, and the way we would get her attention is hitting her arm, mama, 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 hitting her arms. And she could not stand it. And to this day, nobody can touch me at the bottom of my arms and to give my attention. Don't touch me. Don't do that. I don't like it. I feel the same way about that portion of my body. Do not touch the bottom of my
So
shoulder.
let me ask you this. What parts of your body have you seen respond to the weight training that you've done?
I see the top part of my arms. I see the muscle here.
Okay.
I see just a little muscle in my legs, but nothing to brag about.
Okay. Okay.
And I got a little ribs in my stomach.
Okay.
I can see my rib cage is in my stomach, and I love that.
Okay.
So, but that's it. But my thighs and my arms, I'm not liking them, and I'm gonna try to continue to do something about that for the rest of my life to the day that I die.
Yeah. Well, let me just say that it could be not necessarily adding more weights right now, but adding more repetitions. So let's say if you're lifting, if you're doing something 12 times, it may mean doing it 15 or 20 times, not increasing the weight,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing how you respond to that. So that may be one thing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna write that down. Increase the repetition.
Right. And if you're basically working your biceps, that's one thing. And that's why you're probably doing more of that and less of this, which is your tricep. You're probably doing less of that.
But the exercise of pulling down, I put the waist and pulling down, that doesn't help. That helps
It's going to help your chest, but it's not going to do that much for this right here.
So that is doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
With the free weights.
Yeah.
And I also know the ones that you put behind your head and you go like that.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly.
All right.
So it's the weight and the amount of repetitions that you may want to adjust and see. Now, is depending on how flabby you are, is it all going to go away? Probably not at this point, but you can be a little bit more toned, and that's what you want.
And that's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
That's exactly. And I can see I'm going, well, okay, maybe it's starting right here and then it's gonna work its way to the bottom. And I'm thinking, okay, if I keep doing that. And also the one that you come in like this,
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
that's definitely not doing nothing with that. I guess that's your back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
You know,
Well,
yeah. So,
I'm
that might be something for you to, try and see how your body responds to that.
okay. But I definitely have to concentrate on the exact exercise that targets what I want.
Well, yeah, because you're already working, the other parts. You're already doing that. So, yeah, strengthen that a little bit too. That's going to help.
So I have to change. I have to put that in my combination of the routine of the exercise that gets my triceps, and that's what I have not been doing.
Right, right.
Okay. Well, that's what I thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So we are almost nearing the end. I'd like to just, I want to say, first of all, thank you for joining us. I don't know how many people joined us on Facebook, but they can, if you have not joined us live, please just do hashtag replay, and we would love your feedback. Is this something, are the fireside chats something that you would like to see continue? What topics would you like to see covered? Is sort of a round table like this something that you like, or is it more, would you like, more me doing most of the talking and just kind of, teaching, etc. I am going to be doing a sugar detox in July. I'm working out the dates, and it's summertime. There's a lot of sweets. I mean, 4th of
Right.
July is coming up, and all kind of, well, this weekend is Juneteenth. All I see is red velvet cake and you know, all kinds of puddings and stuff like that. And not that you can't have any of that,
Right.
but as you said, as you started saying, when you introduce yourself, it's about portion size, and it's about Martha, opportunity, had an appointment, I expect. Okay. It's about portion size, and it's about what are you eating on a regular basis? What did you eat before, and what are you going to do afterwards? You can't have that be your regular fare and expect to lose weight, or or not feel sluggish, be able to sleep, because all of that impacts each other. Sleep and all of that impacts each other. So I will be doing a sugar detox.
I love that because I have too much sugar.
Okay.
I do consume too much sugar.
Like most people do. So that'll be done within the Facebook group. I'll be asking other people to come in as well. So if other people, who would like some information on that, certainly you can invite them, because everything will happen in the group.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sherry, I know you were not able to speak. I certainly would love to invite you to say any, thoughts that you had.
I enjoyed all your insights, and a lot of it resonated, and it hit the mark. I really appreciate
Oh, thank you.
the talks, and I enjoyed Patricia.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and this gives us an opportunity to get to know each other, because sometimes in the group, you see someone's name, but you don't know anything about them.
Nothing.
So this was a nice opportunity to get to know a few members, a little bit more. And, I would love to continue to do this. So we'll see, how things go forward. But Patricia and Sherry, I want to thank you very much.
And,
yeah. Yes.
And just count me in.
Okay, Patricia. Yeah, I love your energy. I truly, truly do. And Sherry, if you can follow Patricia, she has been styling these beautiful dresses
I'll check her out. Thank
Yeah. So yeah, she's very, very she's in her 60s, so she shows, her true essence. And I love that. I truly love
Thank
that.
you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, thank you, ladies, and you have a good rest of your day.
you
All
too.
right, you do the
Sarah.
same.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, looking forward to seeing you again.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.